Chapter 1. The legend begins long before history was carefully written. Stories spread by firelight told of a fearless Viking named Ragnar Lothbrok. Some believe he truly lived. Others think he is a blend of several great warriors. Whether man or myth, Ragnar became the symbol of Viking ambition, courage, and conquest. Chapter 2. Scandinavia. The world Ragnar knew was harsh. Cold winters, rocky lands, and endless seas shaped the Norse people into fearless explorers. Farming was difficult, so many Vikings searched for wealth across the ocean instead of waiting for opportunity at home. Chapter 3. Dream beyond the horizon. While many Viking leaders sailed east, Ragnar believed riches waited to the west. His vision challenged tradition. Most people called him reckless, but every great legend begins with someone willing to ignore the crowd. Chapter 4. Building the longship. Together with the gifted shipbuilder Floki, Ragnar developed fast, flexible longships capable of surviving rough oceans. These ships became one of history's greatest engineering achievements and allowed Vikings to reach lands few believed existed. Chapter 5. First Raid. Ragnar gathered a small crew and crossed the North Sea. Their destination was England. There they discovered the wealthy monastery of Lindisfarne, filled with treasures but almost defenseless against Viking warriors. Chapter 6. The shock of Europe. The attack on Lindisfarne terrified Christian Europe. Monasteries were seen as sacred places, yet the Vikings struck with incredible speed. News of the raid spread across kingdoms, marking the beginning of the Viking Age in many historical accounts. Chapter 7. Becoming King. Ragnar's victories earned him followers, wealth, and respect. Eventually, he rose to become king. Leadership brought new enemies, political rivalries, and constant challenges, but Ragnar continued seeking glory beyond his homeland. Chapter 8. Paris. One of Ragnar's boldest campaigns targeted Paris. Sailing up the Seine River, his fleet shocked the Frankish kingdom. The siege forced local rulers to negotiate, paying enormous sums of silver just to convince the Vikings to leave. Chapter 9. Fact or fiction? Historians continue debating Ragnar's existence. Medieval chronicles mention Viking leaders with similar achievements, while Norse sagas mix history with mythology. The real Ragnar may have inspired generations before becoming larger than life. Chapter 10. Family. Many famous Viking leaders were said to be Ragnar's sons, including Bjorn Ironside, Ivar the Boneless, Ubba, and Hvitserk. Whether entirely true or partly legendary, these names became some of the most feared across Europe. Chapter 11. The Final Battle. According to legend, Ragnar launched one last expedition to England. His luck finally ran out. Captured by King Aelle of Northumbria, he was sentenced to one of history's most famous executions. Chapter 12. The snake pit legend says Ragnar was thrown into a pit filled with venomous snakes. Facing death without fear, he declared that his sons would one day avenge him. His final words became legendary throughout the Viking world. Chapter 13. Revenge. Ragnar's sons united to form the Great Heathen Army. They invaded England with overwhelming force, defeating kingdoms and eventually capturing King Aelle. Viking vengeance became one of medieval Europe's defining stories. Chapter 14. Legacy. Centuries later, Ragnar still inspires books, films, television, and games. His story represents exploration, determination, and the courage to challenge the impossible. Few legendary figures have left such a lasting cultural impact. Chapter 15. Conclusion. Was Ragnar Lothbrok a real man, several men combined into one legend, or simply the greatest Viking story ever told? The truth may never be known, but one thing is certain: his name still echoes across history more than 1,000 years later.